Dark has already begun the aggression, begun the series off with his own bit of aggression here, as these dropper lords are going to be slowly moving in, dropping the queens here. Perhaps dropping creep as well, as these Zerglings do get a free entry pass into Maru's natural base. The Banshees are adding a lot of damage, but they are being detected here. Dark was wise enough to get some detection there. That Banshee almost down. The Marines on the high ground, the SCVs on the ramp, trying to stem the flow of Zerglings, but Maru has lost 30 workers and counting, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better for him, as Dark now is making his way up to the main base and looking to start this series off with indeed a bang, as all of Maru's workers, nearly all of them, are going down. He's trying to hold on for dear life. Banshee will go down as well. The Queens, just a couple of them left, as Maru looks angry, looks very much ready to kill this base here of Dark, so he's just gonna stim and press forward. Ravager Biles are coming down to try to slow down this assault. Dark sending more and more roaches to the front lines. Can they hold their ground and tank? I don't think so, as we do have 2 tanks already sieged up behind this Marine line here. Dark going to have to lose this base. Queens up in front, 2 tank, but they don't have the support of the units on bottom, as Maru now shifting down with the Marines, trying to target fire all of Dark's roaches here, all of his Ravagers. Just a handful of Marines left. They are overstimmed, but the medevacs are providing them more healing, and Dark now able to clean up. Gonna be diving in on these tanks, as one does get a final shot off, and Maru gonna take up, going to regroup and send it across the map to this middle point here. Tanks are sieging up. Is there enough here from Maru to stop it? Catching Maru a little bit on the back foot here is Dark, but he is fighting through a choke point as well. Maru going to pull the boys. Just kidding, sending them back to the mineral line as more bio comes in from behind. They are on a move command though, so Dark getting free pickings there. Nice abduct as well. And Dark coming back with his own counterattack. Completely forces an evacuation on that base, and he's not slowing down himself, as he's just holding down that W key. Another boy pull here from Maru, as Dark is on the front lines there, utilizing those Vipers, killing off SCVs as well. Where is the rest of Maru's army? There's not much of it to speak of. The Ghosts are here, trying to desperately kite backwards and fight, but Dark taking out the natural base after already taking out the 3rd base, wreaking havoc on Maru's economy, as another boy pull does go down. Is it going to be enough? Will be a Pyrrhic defense after all for Maru, as finally we are clearing up these roaches on the bottom hand side. But at what cost? Truce now going to spring his attack here, utilizing the Nidus Worms. I love this play here from Maru. Is going to pick up immediately and try to head back home to stop this Nidus Worm from going down, and at the same time Dark going to take that opportunity to get rid of that gold base. Nidus does go down, but so does this base here, and now these SCVs are in trouble as well. Maru supply blocked, fix that issue. So gonna get caught with the fungal there, but against Queens, Dark is gonna need something much more to take advantage of that, utilizing the Nidus defensively, as lurkers do go down, but snipes as well are going down with the scan to detect. And a big force here from Dark is cutting across the middle of Maru's bases. Maru taking that high ground location, but these lurkers shredding this Terran army, as Dark takes another big fight there. Maru sending his units back home to try to stabilize. Yet again, poking in with the Nidus Worms is Dark. Maru, I'm not sure if he notices it. This could indeed be very deadly for Maru's production, for his economy, as this will go down, and lurkers are piling out. Maru now, if he didn't notice it before, he knows now just how much danger he's in, sending his army straight across back home. Only lurkers, and now the corruptors are coming out as well. Just a couple of ghosts to try to defend, as the rest of Maru's army is hurriedly heading back home. Dark has a very dominant position and a nice fungal growth on those units. The lurker spikes will absolutely shred through that bioforce, as Maru's production is being completely and utterly destroyed. That is a huge army there for Dark in that main base, and Maru's supply is dropping and dropping hard. Dark, with the sheer craftiness, able to take a commanding lead and may just close out this second game again in the victor's chair, as the main base has been completely emptied out. These lurkers now utilizing the high ground position. Maru is forced to abandon, evacuate everything. Has to go for some kind of base trade here, get something done across the other side of the map. Lurkers, though, utilizing that Nidus mobility. Maru will snipe down that base, but will the lurkers be enough there, as we still have units in Maru's natural base? And Maru taking some decent trades here, but he's going to need a lot more than that. Maru's supply nearly half of that of darts. And bear in mind, Maru's production and economy has been absolutely gutted here, as the survivors are rallying around that 4th base location. Dark able to brilliantly return back home to defend. Maru is tucked in nice and tight here. So Dark gonna have to work extra hard to get what he wants to have done here. Trying to target down the stem, losing SCVs. Maru has to keep that stem alive, and it will complete at the cost of 4 SCVs. So Dark taking excellent advantage of that, waiting for this supply depot to pop before sending the rest of the Zerglings in for the flood. Maybe not. Just content working with these roaches and ravagers, wanting Maru to think there's not much left in the tank. And here come the Zerglings again. Maru forced to evacuate. He cannot catch a break from Dark's aggression here, as Dark is commanding this natural base location, killing more and more workers. Looking like deja vu here for Maru. It does not want to lose a 3rd game in a row, so is going to be pressing forward and actually getting rid of a lot of Dark's units here, sending the SCVs back to mine. And Maru this time able to stabilize before losing a whole lot here. Maru is staying shifty and mobile there on the map. Gonna be forced to cancel this base, it looks like. Is Dark, or may just take the outright kill. I think that was indeed a kill, as now these Banshees gonna be joining up with this army, and Maru gonna be combining the full might of his Terran army. Hellbats up in the front, 2 tank. Nice fungal growth, catches a majority of the Marines, and a big bile does land on them. More Marines are still left standing, though, in the tanks as well, with their firepower have been chunking through the rest of Dark's army, as the Banshee also adding a significant amount of DPS, as his forces are spread out across the whole map, just trying to stabilize and prevent Maru from tearing him apart bit by bit, as we do have a siege tank push on this right side. 3 tanks, and now Maru going to dive in with these Marines, as Dark has shifted his army completely to the right side, allowing these tanks, allowing these Marines absolute free reign. They do get taken out, though, with a nice fungal there, as 1 medevac as well is taken out. And Dark slowly trying to filter units here, avoiding the damage from the siege tanks, trying to go for a surround. Him throw his hands up out of his chair. Are you kidding me? With his Banshee Maru and the Zerglings. Maru himself probably aghast that the Zerglings have been able to dive in here. Gonna get some decent scouting off, and maybe some nice SCV kills to help even things up, as the Zerglings are jumping on some of the units here, forcing a pull away. Rest of Maru's army will be coming back to the main base. But this is exactly the kind of play Dark needed to keep Maru off balance, as more Zerglings are filtering through. Dark, in his trademark style, just keeping things pressured for Maru, as the 3rd base forced to evacuate. A couple more SCVs fall as well. Focusing on both sides of the map here, but this little Baneling bombing run from Dark has the potential to do some damage, and Maru quick to pull away. So Dark gonna try to threaten the main base again, as at the same time Maru is pushing on this left side base where there's not that many units. And Dark also gonna use this opportunity to send it forward on this 3rd base, completely wide and open. Taking a lot of tank shots though, but SCVs are falling as well, as Dark trying to push his way up to the main ramp. This swarming Zerg force continuing to press forward. Maru is still on the other side doing tremendous damage, so 25 workers have been going down, as they do not seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Dark is all over this mineral mining here, and now defending the 3rd base push out here from Maru, as Dark has just had an uncanny ability to get Zerglings where they shouldn't be on top of that siege tank. Now these workers completely left alone to fend for themselves. We do have a Ghost, a couple of Marines out as well. 40 workers and counting though. as Dark is showing no signs of slowing down. Gonna deny the +3 armor, and maybe just as well the +3 attack as another wave coming in here on the planetary forces. Boom! Big connections there on the SCVs. Couple more big hits as Dark foot on the gas pedal. And Maru just trying to regroup his forces as best as he can, but Dark putting him in a corner and keeping him there. Maru trying to kite back and get as much value as he can, but his supply is dropping. And Dark has been able to get so much done here as an unbelievable scout there from Dark. I can't believe what I'm seeing with my own eyes here. Dark with a completely random scouting path, the most clutch of all, sees this proxy barracks attempt here from Maru. Drone trying to get some nibbles there on the SCV and gonna chase it back home. Excuse me, just one more rather. As the first two Reapers gonna jump into the main base. But Dark already set with some Zerglings here. And gonna catch a Reaper actually. So not at all the start Maru was hoping for. An unbelievable catch there. Unbelievable scout from Dark to begin with. I'm gonna try to test Dark here a little bit. As the Marines like this heads up fight, so they're just gonna pound forward, not even with stim. As we do see the stim go down there and shuffling out with the medevacs. This Reaper providing its own part of the multi-prong here. Gonna get 3 workers and diving now into the main base. You can't catch me, says the Reaper. And again, giving him the runaround. Reaper of the Year award still only on 3 workers. Make that 4. I've been impressed now with this one little Reaper and what he could do all by himself. And, this drone picket fence. We'll see this move out here from Maru. Gonna be dropping all of the Marines here, and Dark hot out of position. Stimming now as well, and able to snipe the evolution chamber there is Maru. Great pick off there. Maru trying to give chase with the stim Marines. Dark though able to escape by the skin of his teeth, and now setting up for the defense here against Maru's push out. This is looking to be a dangerous move out indeed. Maru with 2 tanks. Kind of a difficult position to attack into though, as Dark though gonna pull the trigger. Biles going down every which way and actually getting some decent cleanups. Roaches moving on forward, acting like Zerglings a bit themselves. Tanks are taken out completely. It's just the bio here, but a bio that is moving forward nonetheless. Queens in the back trying to support and keep these Zerg units alive as Maru's army is thinning out now. But more reinforcements are coming through. Maru desperately trying to hold on, baring his teeth through this fight, losing another medevac. But taking out a lot of Dark's units. Another tank here joining the fray, but it is left vulnerable from behind, immediately taken out again. Maru back to just bio here, looking to kite and forced to head back home. Certainly give Maru a scare there, as right away his army pulls back upon hearing that Nidus screech there. So far hasn't been using it, but the swarm hosts will make their presence known soon enough here. Maru deciding he's just gonna full send it as Dark swarm hosts in tow, but keeping them back home to defend. Accurately predicted that Maru was going to full send it here upon hearing that Nidus network. So here comes the flight of the Valkyries. The swarm hosts now diving forward on all of these Terran units. Biles going down every which way. Maru trying to stem the tide, or trying to push back against the swarmlings there. And is just gonna be rocking and rolling up forward here. Dark trying to produce some kind of concave, but these swarm hosts on the left, completely useless until the cooldown wears off there. So Maru now with his own force on that top side base. Dark may just have enough to get rid of it, but Maru gonna snipe down this natural base here from Dark. Surely gonna be happy about that pick off. And Dark, you can see there that the swarm hosts just don't have the units, aren't off cooldown quite yet. Maru picking up right as the swarms do come out there, dropping off behind the mineral line now on this 4th base, catching another medevac. But Maru just keeping Dark busy here, sending another force on that right-hand side, but shaving off a lot of Dark's workers here, 25 and counting. sending out some units now to that third base, and that third base does look rather exposed, rather weak on the units actually. Dark gonna get a surprise jump and throwing down a Nidus as well, so Maru gonna have a lot to work with in a short amount of time here, sending the rest of his units forward. Dark working with a nice bit of a concave, but as soon as those siege tanks do form up, Dark will be forced to retreat as the Nidus play yet again, creating problems for Maru in his back door, in his main base, as Dark trying to keep his main force pinned on that third base. The worker is completely left alone there, as the Queen's now also powering forward, trying to take out the tanks is Dark. And kiting Maru back here as well. Maru sending some Marines forward. So far has lost 10 workers, but hasn't had a disastrous turn of events just yet. Another tank does go down though, and Maru is starting to lose some of his bio forces, so pulling the boys here now, does not want to lose this final match of the series in this manner, so trying to stabilize as best as he can. And Dark now just full sending, committing everything through that Nidus Worm, more and more roaches, and Dark, it is all over. Dark. Fight Night friends, if you'd like to be a champion of this channel, please do go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe for more, comment down below what you thought of this insane banger of a best of 7 series. I've been your host Stasis, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time on StarCraft 2 Fight Night.